The Rise of Skywalker is set to introduce over 8 new characters in this story by director J.J. Abrams in order to benefit and move some of the characters forward from start to finish of this story, such as Kylo Ren and Rey in Episode 9. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So what's really great about this film is that we do know that this movie is going to be a revelation film at the end of the day. We do know that this movie is going to have a lot of reveals and a lot of twists and turns that will lead to saga-wide implications, and that really is a big risk by Disney and Lucasfilm. As I have always said, a matter of taking a lot of risks in a Star Wars movie can really go either a really good way or a really bad way. So what's really intriguing about Episode 9 is Kylo Ren's journey within the second act of the film and the Dark Spire. Now these past couple of weeks or so we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now specifically, what's really interesting about all of this is that a description of Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren traveling across a stone bridge that leads to the entrance of the Dark Spire, which is said to be a large castle-like structure and home of the shrines of the Sith. It's described that eventually Kylo and his knights discover the statue of Niall Ren, who was once the master of Snoke and Darth Plagueis. Additionally, it's said that the Forger explains to Kylo and the knights that Niall Ren was so powerful with the dark side that through the power of the origins of the dark side, he learned the power of teleportation, and that he handed this power down to Snoke while he was training him. The power is described to be of dark side origin, where a Darksider will be able to teleport a certain distance from its original location. It's said that this new force power will change Star Wars lore and what a Darksider is able to do. The power is said to have originated from the Beyond, and that Snoke not only learned teleportation, but also learned the power to manipulate the minds of others, and that the power that Snoke used in The Last Jedi was passed down by his master Niall Ren. Additionally, it's said that Snoke named the Knights of Ren the Knights of Ren based on his master who never returned from the Beyond. So let's go over a couple of parts about this, because as you guys all know, I really do love Star Wars lore when it comes to Force lore, Sith, and Jedi lore alike, because it really is a magical piece of the Star Wars franchise, where it really does tap into a lot of the ancient lore in the Star Wars sequel trilogy. And this definitely tops the list here. So this is all involving the character of Supreme Leader Snoke, that he himself learned the ability of teleportation, as well as the mind bridge that we saw in The Last Jedi, and that power alone that Snoke used on Kylo and Rey was an actual power of dark side origin, the origins of the dark side that was passed down by his own master, Niall Ren. Now what's really great about this is that this really is setting up a lot of lore that's going to build towards the new Star Wars trilogy and what those characters are able to do. Now, what I like about Snoke is that we will be learning a little bit more about this character by J.J. Abrams, and that this character is indeed a part of the origins of the First Order that was confirmed by Vanity Fair a couple of weeks ago, where they said a big piece in the second act of Episode 9 is going to be about the origins of the First Order, how it all really got started, and how Snoke basically rose to power. A lot of people want to know about all that stuff. So in Episode 9, this power that Snoke was able to learn by his own master, Niall Ren, teleportation, it really does change the game when it comes to Star Wars lore. This takes me back to when Luke Skywalker died. If Snoke was able to perform teleportation, why couldn't Luke Skywalker? Now keep in mind that yes, this is indeed a dark side power. Yes, it is from the origins of the dark side. So perhaps Luke would have never even had the chance to learn this ability. However, in Star Wars Legends, this was a popular power that is now making its way into Star Wars canon material. If not, it was already made canon, but now it's being made more, I guess you could say, known to the casual audience that's going to go ahead and see this movie come December of this year. And keep in mind, guys, we are now basically just 6 months away from this movie. Pretty fast, I gotta say. Time has flew by, and I gotta tell you, I'm very excited to see exactly what J.J. Abrams is going to really insert into this film when it comes to, of course, the Jedi and the Sith lore related to Snoke. This by far is one of the big pieces that I am really looking forward to. So the character of Niall Ren, I'm sure, is going to be a character that's going to be introduced physically and alive in the new Star Wars trilogy, since we do know that a lot of the rewrites of Episode 9 had to do with connecting this movie to the new Star Wars trilogy by the creators of Game of Thrones. So there are going to be a lot of Easter eggs and references in Episode 9 that's going to connect to the new Star Wars trilogy. All these different characters that we are hearing about, such as the First Jedi, the Prime Jedi, right, the Forbidden Sith and stuff around those lines, all these different statues of characters that we have been going over, most likely are the ones that are going to be alive in the upcoming trilogy. So I would love to hear what you guys all have to say about Supreme Leader Snoke and his power and how this was handed down by his own master Kylo Ren. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.